All right, I'm going to try something new today, and I'm going to attempt to record the implementation of this. I sort of thought about it a little bit too late because I already did some of it, but here's the context. I want to be able to improve the dark mode toggling on Windows, and so in order to do it normally, I actually don't know precisely where it is. If I go to, let's go to settings, dark, change the color, yeah, okay. No, not there, oh yeah, nightlight, nope. Okay, this is already telling me that I can't really remember where it is. Dark, turn on dark mode system wide, okay. Where is that? That's in colors. Let's open this up. Yeah, so it's this drop down to change, and I don't necessarily want to navigate to this menu all the time. So I want a keyboard shortcut to be able to do this. And I want to change the system and application themes so that they're light and dark. I'm finding as I'm getting older, my eyes are getting more sensitive, or not sensitive, but I guess it is sensitive. I definitely need dark theme when it's nighttime, and I definitely need light theme when it's daytime. And what I've done already implemented here, actually no, let me go through the whole issue. And so that's one thing. I want to be able to change the operating system and application themes with a keyboard shortcut. I already have the ability to do this in my terminal. And this is one of the issues. You can see that now my terminal setting is not the same as my operating system level, and I want to keep those coupled. I don't think I have a reason to have them decoupled, but anyways, here I'll show you how I can change this. Here I can go day, and that will change it to this. And if I go into Vim, it will be in a light mode, and if I go night, it goes dark, and if I go into Vim, it's a dark mode. And yeah, that's decoupled from the operating system. And I think I just want a keyboard shortcut for the whole shebang. Rather than typing day and night in my terminal, I think a keyboard shortcut would be a better experience. The other thing is that if I go to day, there's one background color that matches, or sorry, there's one text color that matches the background, and that is, as you can see here. So you can't see any of the numbers here, or maybe you can. I can do that to show it, but that's not really useful, and I'm just using stock solarized theme. So if I go night, and there we can see, now we can see the colors, or we can see the numbers. And so this is related to this color there. So if I go to, ooh, this is a good question. I need to remember how this actually works. Well, we'll probably find that out as we change it, so I'm not going to go into that now. I just know what the issue is. So so that's what the second thing is, to couple the OS color scheme with the terminal color scheme, and also adjust the light theme white with a color that doesn't match the background. And there's this other thing, replace Alacrity color scheme with custom scripting. Now, what is Alacrity color scheme? That is, let's see if I can, it's been a while since I've looked at this stuff. Yeah, so here it is. And so it's a tool that gets installed. It's a Python module, and it modifies the file. And so it modifies, well, oh good, we can actually see what files it modifies. So we can see here that it modifies config alacrity.yaml. Config alacrity.yaml. Yeah, so this whole section here is modified, is being modified by the Alacrity color scheme. I'm tempted to just use YAML anchors and, what are they called? Anchors and references, to just have both color schemes in the YAML and then just use some YAML shorthand to switch between the two. And I could probably do that with sed. That is certainly something I'm going to have to look up because I never have that memorized. But I think that's a lot simpler than managing some Python module that, while is nice, and it has, well, let me show you how that's installed. If I can remember. Yeah, this is how it's installed, and I would like to get rid of this. So you can see that I'm getting the color schemes through this repository, and where's the, oh yeah, here's where it's symlinked, and plus you can see here that I'm using pip to install Alacrity color scheme. So this is a like this. Of course, this is only 14 lines of code or whatever, but it does feel a little bit much for what it's trying to do. I'm really just trying to set a bunch of colors in that file, and I think it's simpler to just manage that one file than manage a separate repo with themes. And I don't tend to, I don't switch between many themes. I only switch between two: Solarize, Light, and Dark, and a module. And plus, because I'm using ASDF for my Python management, this also further complicates things that I won't really get into with this. So that's what I'm trying to do. I want to be able to do one keyboard shortcut that will adjust things, and I'll show you how I've already got that done. I sort of snuck that in. And I'm using AutoHotKey, and so this is the AutoHotKey script. And you can see that it's running there. I think it's this one, toggle Windows dark theme. Not sure about the names of this, but I think I'll probably do another pass on naming and perhaps even the shortcuts. So AutoHotKey is a little bit cryptic, but I found a couple good references on how to run PowerShell via AutoHotKey, and also how to change like what that dropdown is. And it's two registry flags, and it is just a Boolean. It's like the same. It's the same key. It's just you turn it. What is it called? It's a system uses light theme. Yeah. So like it doesn't even say dark theme anywhere in the registry. It just says, do you use a light theme or not? And so the value is either a 1 or a 0. And so here you can see if I go Windows Shift D, so Windows Shift D, I've now made the theme for Windows dark, and Brave follows that, as does Visual Studio Code. I have code tied into following what the operating system setting is. And if I go Windows Shift L to go light, and you can see that it switches not only code but also Windows, but you can see that the terminal doesn't change. That's not what I want. All right, so let's close out. We don't need that. And yeah, pretty much all of this was just found online. Like I have no idea what this ampersand blah blah blah. Like this is some batch type scripting magic that I don't quite understand. I believe it has something to do with handling the white space, because like this variable is a script of multiple lines. And yeah, I don't know, but it works for now. And of course, like my couch gaming script, which allows me to hit a shortcut and change my monitor to my TV and change my audio output to the TV and automatically start Steam in what's it called? Not couch mode. Is it called couch mode or big screen mode or something like that? This is just copy pasted from that, and this creates a shortcut such that the AutoHotKey script will be loaded when my machine reboots. Let me see if I can find that. Startup apps, is that it? No, that's not it. There's a shortcut to find the path to that. Is it? Nope. Oh, thanks, Microsoft. Nope. No, I don't want any of this stuff. No, no. All right. Anyways, that's enough about that. But this is working lovely, and so I'm very happy with this. I just need to do the rest of the wiring, which I think won't be too bad. But first off, let's see if, and because these systems are decoupled right now, I feel like I can do the replace Alacrity color scheme with custom scripting first, get that working, fix the light theme so that I can actually see some of the numbers and other things, and then lastly couple the operating system color scheme with the terminal color scheme and see how that goes. So now I'm going to try to figure out or revisit, like, how is the Alacrity color scheme working? So I sort of forgot about how all that works. So did I have background anything? No, I didn't. So I can see here that I'm changing the themes based off of this, and you can see that it's got some, So this whole section here is all related to changing the color scheme. What is it doing exactly? So I am setting the color scheme using the Alacrity color scheme Python tool. I'm then calling out this custom function that I wrote to set the background. Yeah, this is imported by the Vim configuration, so that or NeoVim configuration, so it picks up the theme. And okay, this is just a defensive make the directory in the Windows path. So in Windows, this would be like going to let's see, do I have it? Not this, but it's close. No, I want to go to here, and it looks like it's saying app data. No, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Users micro. That's because I'm using a Microsoft account, and then app data. And I remember this is just a documented place to put it. So there we go. And so yeah, so from WSL, I'm copying the file that gets modified when I run this command. This command modifies this file, but of course that my Alacrity is running in Windows, not in Linux or in WSL. And that might be an interesting thing when I eventually go to Windows 11 and I have X application, an X server that I can use, but then I don't have to install Alacrity in Windows, I install it in Linux. But anyways. And then I'm copying it over to this path here. So, and Alacrity live loads. So if I go into this file and let's change this to, oh no, yeah, I can change it here. Yeah, just a very, very bright white. Oh. Am I missing an F? There we go. Okay, so you can see how it does live load. That's nice. Now I think top should be. Is that? Let's make this more obvious. There we go. Okay, yeah. So that's the file that Windows is using. Oh, I totally forgot what the color was, but just bright white is good enough, it seems. But we'll play with this value once we get the switching done without Alacrity color scheme. Then we can just modify the file directly. Okay, so I feel like I got decent recall of how this all works. Now the question is how do I want to go about doing this? So I think first thing is I want to comment this out. so that Alacrity color scheme is out of the picture. In fact, I think the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to I want to store the settings just so that I have reference to what they are. And so I'm going to go here, I'm going to go day. Okay, so this is going to be that's the day. And I'm recording this just so that you get an idea of like how I'm going about this. I don't know if it's the best way, but best is subjective, hence there is no best. Just an idea of like how I go about doing these things, if you find this interesting. Okay, so now I have the two different color schemes. Great. I don't need this open anymore. And what I want to do is I said I want to maintain this using like YAMLese. So let's see if I can remember how to do that. So this file, I should double check how this file is maintained. Well, is it a symlink? It is not a symlink. Okay. That's fine. I think I understand why. That's because this file changes. If it was a symlink, you keep on getting differences in the Git repo if it's not a symlink. But that's fine. We'll work with this file, and this will eventually be what to call it, not the primary, the template that we'll use that will then eventually check in. So what I want to do with this is that I'm going to call this, this is going to be dark. Light. And so this is light. Oh, need to put in paste mode. All right, that's fine. And what's that? Primary. Did I paste it in twice? No, I don't think so. Something got messed up. 1 second. Undo, undo, undo. I don't know how many undos to do. Okay. So dark looks fine. Yeah. Still have paste mode. Okay, this looks better. Let's see. Is there a shorthand I could do to... I think... I need to turn that off, and then if I go no, I want to do Q. Okay, so DD yeah, okay, and if I do 8 at Q, there we go. 8 at Q, 2 at Q. Okay. I don't know if that was even faster, but whatevs. Okay, so we have like these comments are not very useful. I'm going to get rid of those. And what we're going to do is try to reference this using, I wonder if this needs to be above. Let's assume yes, and I'm going to go color z, and let's say don't remember how to do this, so YAML anchor and ref. Let's see, try this one. Oh, decline all. That is some hostile design right there. Okay, so yeah, this is the reference. Where's, yeah, okay, so I'm going to create an anchor for this whole section, and this will be at or ampersand light. This will be ampersand dark, and this will be, let's do light. All right, yeah, let's try that. If this works, that's pretty genius, right? So what I've done is that rather than using Alacrity color scheme to modify these two sections, I've just preloaded the config file with these two color schemes, and then what I'm going to try to do is then just change this reference when I'm switching. So now I'm just changing one line instead of multiple ones, and I'm not using a separate tool to do that. Well, I guess technically I'll be using a tool like sed, but that's built into Linux, and should be maybe easier to maintain. We'll see. Let's see if this works first. I think I've done it correctly. I thought I had to do something like that, but I could be wrong. Let's see what happens when we try this. Now, because I'm skipping Alacrity color scheme, the file's not going to be modified. So ultimately what's going to happen is the file's just going to be copied. Ooh, interesting. Okay, why I was oohing was that the reason why the file is here is because this is where Alacrity color scheme expects it to be. Now, because this is removing Alacrity color scheme from the situation, I can remove this level of indirection and just use the file in that's stored in the repo. So I'm just a tiny detour there. So if we go into coalesces machines, this is how my WSL gets all configured. And if we go to, let's just look for Alacrity. Okay, set up Alacrity. Yeah, so I can actually get rid of this right here. Sort of, like the one thing that is needed is to, okay, even better. So I have, wow, this is again, like, it's good to laugh at your old code. I have a lot of levels of indirection here, and that's why I'm doing this, is to just remove that. And this is going to be great because I won't need to make this Alacrity config directory. I won't need to copy. So I'm copying from the Windows Alacrity configuration. So I have multiple of these files, and that's because I have Alacrity on Mac OS and on Windows. And so that's what this level of indirection is. So I can just use, so this path here where this Windows Alacrity.yaml is, this is ultimately where I'm going to store these changes, and I'm going to remove the necessity to do these this file copy. And I'm sure if I go I make dir copy. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. This is a copy. There is no symlinking. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Again, that's a good sign of that. Even this very little code is not great because I'm struggling to navigate it already, and I'm relatively familiar with this. So I imagine anyone who's watching this is going like, "What the hell? Holy over-engineering Batman!" And I would agree. And I'm trying to under-engineer it a little bit. and hopefully come up with something a little bit more cohesive and understandable, and also just a better user experience for myself too. Okay, so why was I doing that? Because I went, whoa, I can actually get rid of this, and this would actually just be the path to that slash, workspace infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. So, okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say day to just make sure that the file gets copied to Windows, and oh my god, it worked. Wait a second, I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. And there we go. So I should just be able to go this, and it'll switch to dark. Why didn't it like that? Oh, did I not, oh wait, let's see. Okay, let's just double check. No, I don't want to look at that file. Let's, did I not, I'm worried that I may have screwed up the file. So let's go back to this one. Oh, okay. I swear I did this. Maybe I didn't save it. That's probably it. Okay. And this is still here. I think I just quit out of Vim and didn't save my changes. Or it looks like I did it in a weird piecemeal way. Okay. Do I have anything else in the background? Okay, now if I go night, is this going to auto load? Do I need to load it again? Not sure why that didn't change. Oh. It did revert. Okay. That is interesting. Something's wacky here. What is going on? So what happens if I go day? Okay, let's I know. I need to, because these are functions, and I need to reload my ZSHRC, and that's definitely one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of like functions in the ZSHRC, because you edit the file and you go, oh, that didn't change anything. And that's because, yeah, you need to reload the ZSHRC. I don't know why the file is reverting though. That is peculiar. But oh, because Alacrity color scheme is still doing stuff. Ah, of course. Yeah, okay. So this change that I isn't actually being applied until I do. There we go. Okay. In fact, I'm almost tempted to do no. One change at a time, Scott. Don't be hasty. And this is the dark mode. Yeah, so that's light. Cool. Okay. Now, let's save that. Let's run day. That should still be the same. And if I do night, it's still the same. Good. Because I haven't done the sed part that changes the color scheme, but I do want to make sure I can go here. But the Vim color scheme did change. That's good to know. Okay, now I can just do day. It doesn't really matter which one, although this now changes Vim, so it's backwards. So, okay. So the good part is that that works, and so I'm happy with that. And if I go here, boom, yeah. I just want to test one thing, which is, can I put my color schemes at the very end? Because, you know, they're a bit noisy. So like, this is my main config that I want to see. And I can even put this in like color schemes. Give it a little bit more context. Oh, I did 2 changes there. Oh my God. I think line 15. Okay, so these need to be in front. So I'm going to, I don't like them there either. Oh well. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna keep it there for now in the front, even though I don't like it, because I'd rather see the most important config first. But I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, so that works. Or what I learned there is that order matters for declaring the anchors. All right, so what I need to figure out is, how do I change this line to what it needs to be? Okay, so let's play around with sed. Well, can I do I have TLDR set up? Oh, I do. Okay. So, yeah, replace all Apple occurrences with Mango. So that's just a. Okay, so if I do cat alacrity or execute a specific script file, replace all Apple, print just a first line to standard out, replace all Apple. So I want to, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So I want to do something like this. So I want to go sed s, I want to change a line. That's the thing. I want to change the line, not the, so there's a line that starts with colors. Let's just, okay, so I want to replace a line with sed. Replace line sed. All right. Oh my God, it's that easy. So I need to do dot star. Would it be easier if I just even be just more explicit? So do something like that. Colors. Oh, it worked. So now I can go colors, colon, space, star, foo. Amazing. Okay. Now, this is cryptic. Is this an improvement over using a separate Python module? I'm going to argue yes. Because it is at least one line. Now, of course, less lines isn't always beneficial if it sacrifices readability. But at least sed is a common tool, and maybe not be well understood by all, but there's always someone who understands it really well, and it was very fast to search it on Stack Overflow. So I'm relatively happy with this. So and if I use it the way it is right now, it should be relatively maintainable. So, and oh, this is interesting. So I can do this directly to the file that's copied to Windows. So what I will most likely do is copy from, I'm going to call it source of truth. I don't have a better name for it, but source of truth is a bit a heavy-handed term for this, but at least I'm going to the source file. And then I'm going to say, you know, I'm actually going to do it here. So I'm going to cat okay, delete to no, undo. No, what do I want? What am I trying to do again? I want this. What am I trying? Okay, I want to cat this. And then I want to pipe that, and I think I might just do it here like that. Do that, so I don't need that. So I'm copying this file so I can get the file into its respective Windows directory. So that would mean that at any time I'm updating this source of truth file, I will always be up to date, which is nice. So I still have a level of indirection, which is copy the source file into the Windows location. But at least this is now. And I'm also starting to notice I have a inconsistency with the language, which is like sometimes I say day and night, and sometimes I say light and dark. What's the Brandon Sanderson books? There's like there's sort of a meme around like the life after death, and then there's something about dark and light. I can't remember, but anyways, so now this should work. And it should even work given the fact that the current file has foo as the reference, because it's going to, it might, there might be a race condition here, because I might be copying a bad file and then it will be fixed. So just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see what happens, but this time I've learned my lesson to remember to source this. And now if I do day, I catted the file and I didn't write. Okay, and I think that's where this said -i. -i is in place. I was hoping for more sed stuff here. Oh yeah, the bottom one. Replace, yeah, sed-i path to file. Ooh, okay, I like that way better. So sed, so rather than the cat, so this will become sed-i. And this is probably qualifying that to be a variable at some point. I'm tempted also to just extract all this into a file, so it's a script that I run and not a function. And I'm gonna take that and put that there, and of course need to change dark into light. All right, and need to source and day. Amazing. It works. When did that change to? Oh, because the file was always correct. I never modified the file. I was just running sed. Okay. and catting it, not writing to the file. Okay, so now if I do night, oh, I'm might be fooling myself, but this also feels a tiny bit faster. It just feels like it's way more responsive, and that could be because it's not launching a Python interpreter. But that could I have no measurements, so I could be talking crap. All right, this turned out easier than I was expecting, which is fantastic. Now, how do we make this change permanent? I think what I need to do is I need to go to. So remember, I was copying that file from Windows. Yeah. So I think what I can just do is copy.config alacrity, and here you can see the color scheme issues. So like the / suggestion is not showing up. That's something that has irked me. Go here. Okay. Awesome. So you can see that my ZSH RC changes are already applied here because it's a symlink. This is really nice. If this actually, yeah, I'm very happy with this because I can get rid of a lot of. I'm going to do the cleanup of Alacrity color scheme later, but first I want to get this working. The reason for the two different Alacrity files is another thing that I can start switching, because what's in here? Oh yeah, this will be another good one because I think I have it in yeah, so this is a file that runs on Mac OS. And the only difference between Mac OS and Windows is the fact on Mac OS I run ZSH, and on Windows I run Ubuntu.exe. That is this actually. This means that I can actually make this file common, and I can just swap the programs depending on the operating system. So I'm slowly sort of merging it into, I just have one file with almost like the equivalent of feature toggles. But I'm not going to do that yet. I don't want to make too many changes at once. And so let's look at the coalesces machine. Wait, what? Oh, I did couch gaming. I want to, oh no, this doesn't have, yeah, so I have my WSL configuration separate from my Windows configuration. Yeah. So this is fine because this will, oh no, it copies it there. Okay. All right, let's just stepping back to think for a bit. I want to figure out, like, what is my first commit, at least, with this? And I think the first commit is the change to this Alacrity config file for Windows. So that is in a committable state. Maybe there's a question of like, what's the default theme? And I think the default theme should be light. And I'm going to worry about the inconsistency of saying dark, light, night, and day later. But this is the first change that I can do along with the ZSH RC change. And so this is nice because I can get rid of this now. And yeah, this is like one thing I want to change. I'm going to remove this comment for now. That is still going to be necessary. Cool. And this function is still necessary. All right. This will probably adjust once I try to couple the Windows key shortcuts, and I'm guessing it'll be better in a script, a separate script, rather than in the ZSHRC, because then I need to like load a shell that sources the ZSHRC, and I don't really need to do that now. I can just run these separately. And plus, I'm not going to use these functions anymore, I don't think. I might just have a script and just go like toggle. Might even be consistent with the toggle dark mode, something like that, or set light mode, then 1, or set. I'm not sure about the name yet, but I think these functions are going to disappear, and they'll be replaced by scripts, or one script with a parameter. I'm not sure, but we'll get there when we get there. But I think right now this is actually good. This is enough change to, and I think my next commit will be removing all things Alacrity color scheme, because I think I can already see that I don't need it. Now, of course, this isn't going to work on Mac OS yet, but I use my MacBook Air so infrequently that I'll probably just fix it once the next time I use it, which will be interesting, because that ends up being a very nice exercise that I haven't, it'll probably be weeks, or maybe not, I'm not sure, before I touch it, and then I'll see that stuff isn't working, and then I will have to rebuild the context of what I've changed, and it'll be an interesting exercise to see how quickly I can figure out what the heck I was up to, and that's sort of a good gut check on, like, did I make the design better so it's easier to fix? Because I can definitely see that this design isn't good, and I knew this from the start as well. I'm like, I wasn't happy with it, but I just didn't know what it needed to turn into. And when I was thinking about the YAML references and anchors, I was going, oh, wait a second, I can completely remove this tool, which is great. So I think we're at a committable state. I should at least run. Oh, wait a second. No. I need to do some more stuff. No. I should just try running Coalesce's machine to make sure I didn't screw up the. No, I didn't even modify that. But that's all right. I'm going to run this. I'm going to source the ZSHRC, and I should be able to just switch back and forth, and that will be good. And what issue ID is this? This is, yeah. So we'll just keep on going, and we'll be able to tick the box, replace the Alacrity color scheme. All right. Yeah, one of these, with these kinds of changes, there's a lot of rebuilding of context, and go like, oh, I can do this, and I can do this now, and I can do this, and it's like, oh, I got it. This stuff is, I don't know, like it feels like you really need to take it slow, and I don't know if it's because of my design choices, or if it's just the inherent nature of, like, this is like Linux configuration stuff, that yeah, I'm not sure why I feel that you really need to take it one step at a time, and I don't know if that's, I know it's generally, I think, reasonable to do, but I think even more so with this, because it is easy to like, as you saw with the ZSHRC, and that already got me into a bad feedback loop where I was going like, this doesn't make any sense. What's going on? And it's like, oh, there was a step that I need to do. And that's due to the design decision of using functions in the ZSHRC and not like separate scripts. And that's primarily the reason why I do it that. I don't know why I chose functions for this. Anyway, so that worked. Did that, whoops, in the wrong window. Okay, no files changed as a result of that. Ooh, I know one thing that's going to be interesting is I'm using git delta for this, and I'm sort of tempted to get rid of it anyways. But it's actually coupled to Alacrity color scheme. And I can already think of a way to change it so it's a little bit, yeah, I can think of a way to change it, but I'm not too worried if the color scheme of my diffs is borked, and that's all right. So I need to source is shrc. Okay, and can I go day, night? There you can see the git delta. So if I do a git diff now, you'll still be in light mode because it's trying to talk to Alacrity color scheme. I'm going to make a note and say, edit, just to do something with git delta. I don't know what it is yet. I just want to make sure I probably won't forget because it's very clearly in my face every time I'm making a change here. Okay. All right, so that's the file. So that's the diff with the color schemes. And this is now just referencing the color scheme. This is removing the calls to Alacrity color scheme and using sed to modify the file on Windows. And like I said, this won't work on Mac OS, but that's fine. I'm happy to ignore that. All right, so switch Alacrity color scheme with sed and YAML. That's fine. Okay. Issue 55. All right. And I want to now, before I push, I'm going to now remove all references to Alacrity color scheme. And so that is going to involve this is great. So I started abstracting some of the functions, and I'm not sure if I like this. I think the more imports that you have, I'm finding it just harder to follow along what the heck is going on here. And so I'm liking the fact that I can just remove that and remove that. And so set up Alacrity. So that is still necessary with the current config because I am copying the file. So that's one level. I'm going to make that in a separate commit. Because yeah, this can also go soon. And I can go here. Now, like I said, this is going to break Mac OS, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it installed. That's fine. I can repave my WSL, and that will ultimately remove all references to Alacrity color scheme. But I'm okay with temporarily having this config Alacrity colors, symlink, and all that. That's fine. I find when trying to do these changes and I'm okay with the nuclear option of cleanup and just repave the WSL instance, because and then I'll probably uncover like other issues that I created, and I'm okay with that. Again, it's all about doing the repaves frequently such that I can catch them and have enough context to go, oh, that's that, and I probably just need to change this one thing. So I'm changing the install. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. All right. So that's the OSX stuff. That is fine. So I'm going to ignore the OSX stuff. Set up alacrity.sh. Yeah, that actually removes, I think, most vestiges of Alacrity color scheme, except for OSX. And I'll probably do that after I get it all working on Windows, and then I'll just do a follow-up commit on macOS on my own. So that's cool. Awesome sauce. All right. Remove okay, so that's done. All right, and I think what I want to do next is the ZSHRC. Well, or move these into scripts. I'm not going to move this into a script yet. I think what I want to do here is that so it's going to be copied workspace, infrastructure, holders, Windows alacrity.yaml. Right, so I'm no longer, I want to remove this copy into this location, because this location is I don't care about this location anymore because I'm not using Alacrity color scheme. So cat. Oh, I didn't save. Okay, well. I know there's a shell shortcut that I could do. Oh, I could just do ls workspace infrastructure. Like I'm sure there's a way to just highlight that path and ask Vim to tell me if that directory exists. But my Vim foo isn't that good. I'm not at that level. And I forgot to bang it. Okay, so that is the right path. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. All right, so then now, so what I've done is I've removed that indirection, so now I'm just taking it straight from the source, copying it to the Windows location, and then modifying the Windows location so I'm not modifying the source. So there's no diff that's going to be involved there. But what's nice about this is that I can change the file in the source, and it's always going to apply every time anytime I switch color schemes. It's going to keep the file up to date as close as possible. Although it's not like it's a file that I change all the time. But I am going to change the file now because the next thing I want to do is also change how the bold white looks. And I'm going to save this. I'm going to resource ZSHRC. I'm going to go to Coalesce's machine. Now I no longer need to set up Alacrity. That's more code deletion, which is fantastic. And I need to see if it works. So if I go night, day, just to really, now I can do some home dir harm, right? And now I can manually clean up because I really want to make sure that my stuff is working without this location. And this should be fine. Nice, okay. What else? No, I think that is good with that. Yeah, OSX is whatever. I think what's going to happen is the coupling the OS color scheme to the terminal color is going to help us figure out if this function design is good, or this should be a separate file. I'm leaning towards a separate file now, since I'm going to be modifying all this in my Windows shortcut and not necessarily the being in the terminal. So it feels less appropriate. These things are living in my ZSHRC, but I'm going to do that at a later time. So what this has done is, I've deleted more Alacrity setup. I changed the path that I'm copying over to Windows. Now that's definitely a level of indirection that is, I think, just or a complexity that is required, because is it though? I guess I could you know what? I could probably do this from Windows. Does Windows have sed? Oh my God, it does. Okay, I'll explore that another time. Anyway, so this is good for getting rid of that. I'm gonna, yep, delete. Yeah, awesome. And what? Delete. No, I'm going to call this a use repo alacrity YAML as template. Not the best comment in the world. But what this will remove the copying of the source template to meaning there's only one level of indirection now. Yeah. This video will explain it better. All right, issue 55. Cool. I think I've successfully replaced Alacrity color scheme with just a custom script, which is just one sed command. Now, I'm not happy with the functions and all that in ZSHRC, but like I said, I'm going to do that later. I think we can push this. And I'm going to call this done. Let's refresh. Let's find a light theme that works now for us. So, and I can do this directly in the source. So I can go to Windows. Yeah. Now the question is what should... So yeah, you can even see here, see the background is that color. The white color is exactly the same as the background. I don't know why that's in the standard, or like, let's look. Maybe solarized light. Background tones. Yeah, can you just show me the colors? Can I see colors, please? I just want to see the values. Okay. Yellow, orange, where? Wait, orange? magenta, cyan, white, black, red, green, yellow, blue, magenta, cyan, white. So cyan, where's white? Oh, okay, here's white. Term color, white. Okay. Okay, these are EEE, X, EE, 8. Okay, so this is normal. All right, so that's the normal one. What's the bright white? Bright white. FDF6E3. Yeah, interesting. So where's the background color? Because okay, so that means the spec, it's the background color that's messed up. But where do I see the background color here? I don't see it. Bright cyan, bright blue. So I think these hex codes are fine. Maybe I should just change the background. Yeah, what's the... Okay, I just want to... What's... Solarize is on GitHub? No. What's in so background tones. Okay, so there's base 3 and base 2. See that? Give me the colors. This is the canonical, yeah, so that's where we are. Okay, so background tones are base 2 and 3. Base 2, where was that? Yeah. Base 2 and 3. That's black. Wait, okay, let's see if we can find background FD. No, 002B36. 2B36. Okay. That's the background black, or that's BR black. That's also bright. Okay. That's a bright black. Interesting. Okay, let's try some other thing. Solarized light background and bright white are the same. Ah, cool. All right. Okay, I just want someone to recommend. I'm just gonna select a random one. No. This is a genuine bug. All right, well, at least it's a genuine bug, but I'm really surprised it's just not updated in the source. I'm tempted. I wish they were using the hex codes, but they're using the different ones. Well, I can probably... This looks like this is going to require a little bit of research, but what I can do at least is for light, is just do something brighter. I'm tempted to just make it white. It might be too bright, but I want to make sure it's noticeable. Okay, no, that's oh, it might need to be more black than white. This is probably going to turn into all sorts of odd issues, which aren't going to be good. Might actually even use the black, because it just means that it's not going to stand out. That's actually fine. You know what? That's fine for now. It's easy to see. Okay. Now, what's the canonical issue? 5. Consider whether we need to support bold foreground, like not as a separate color. Wow, there's just like this appears to be a very well-known issue, so that's good to know. But I think right now, and so this was part of the driving function for this issue, is that I wanted to just change this white color. And in order to do that using the Alacrity color scheme, I would then have to fork the color scheme like repo that I was using as for samples, and then modify that one file. And then so I'm much happier of doing this. It's very much more, I don't know what to say. It's like the problem is closer at hand, I guess. I think this issue feels like it's fairly well documented. So I'm going to just reference this one here. Why is my Vim dark? Okay, something's not working there. 1 second. But I do want to change this. Okay, so I have an issue now. What is the issue? What issue did I create now? I'm just going to source just to be sure. Okay, so I definitely broke something there. What did I break? Color scheme solarized. Theme. Light and dark. Vim RC background. Okay, that's saying it should be light. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, well, I may have created a bug as a result of this. I don't see how, though. I don't see how that would have gotten impacted. If I go night, now that says dark. Cool. Now if I go into Vim, it's dark. If I go day, now that says light. Yeah. So it looks like the only thing that needs to change is that background, right? And now this, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna sort that out later, but I'm gonna say that, go back here. At some point, the Vim color scheme broke while implementing this. This wasn't the original design, so I'm just going to put it as a comment here, as like fix NeoVim color selection. Because I don't think that has anything to do with Alacrity color scheme. So I'm really stumped as to why that, the deletion of the colors direction, because that was only Alacrity color scheme. So I'm not sure. But I'm going to keep this commit. Use bright white alter bright white do not match background. Cool. All right. Yeah. Cool. Let's just close Alacrity. All right. This is definitely interesting. So if I go to, I did run coalesce this machine. Set up NeoVim, yeah. And so here's, again, like have a level of indirection, which isn't really that helpful. And if I look at what this does, I don't think, yeah, this isn't, so that's not really that interesting. There is some light background stuff, which is interesting. So if I go background light, does that do anything? No. All right, sort of lost track. What am I trying to do right now? Do I try to fix the bug, or do I try to keep on pressing forward? I think I try to fix the bug. But it is a confusing one. Did I make a typo here? Right Vim RC background, yeah. Local theme, yeah. So if exists solarized, yeah. Let's maybe go into NeoVim config. Yeah. Yeah. So I have that plugin. I wonder if that plugin got messed up somehow. So yeah, so if the file exists, read it. Okay, so let's try something here. Not vertical split, let's do a horizontal split. And then this one, I'm going to edit the Okay, so instead of color scheme slate, so I'm just going to delete this file and just hard code it. Now it's going to say set background. Set background equals light, color scheme, solarized. I should also see G. If exists, do I need to just go colors name? I'm not sure. Okay, let's save that. How do I print variable? NeoVim. Print variable or setting value. Eval. I don't think that's what I want. Or I can do echo, it looks like. What if I do echo background? Undefined variable. Set background equals light. Okay, that did something. But it's not changing the background color. Interesting. Was Alacrity color scheme doing something else to make the background work? Because you can see it with if I, all right, that's doing it. Color scheme. It's solarized. Okay. Color schemes. No. All right. Oh, let's close that. Don't need that open anymore. Don't need that open anymore. NeoVim light background color solarized. Another solarized color scheme. Okay. Yeah. It's a fork of that. Config name, yeah. What's the difference between neo solarized? Okay, well, you know what? Okay. Let's, boom. Let's also go into infra. So that did change, yeah, the NeoVim config. So that's symlinked, so I can just live edit there. Let's go to nvim. What am I using? I'm using this one. Last modified 12 years ago, and I think I even mentioned like it looks like it's not maintained. When's the last time this? 3 years ago. No, even 2020. Who is Overcache? Cool. I want to understand why it says a fixed solarized color scheme. Now, this is a strange rabbit hole because I don't know what I did to break this NeoVim configuration. But yeah, let's term GUI colors. Okay, not sure what that does. I can just plug it. So we can try it. Yep. I'm tempted to try it anyways, simply because it is more recent. I don't know if that necessarily makes it better. And this is definitely a hammer approach to fixing the issue. This one doesn't seem like it's really big, but I don't know. I'm curious about the background stuff on how it makes sure that that works. It's a fork of the one that I'm using. Yeah, so it's a fork of this. And this is by the creator of Solarized, and Tim Pope has also modified it, so he's quite prominent in the Vim community. So I think what I want to do right now is I'm happy with my Vim configuration of getting rid of that that weird switching thing, that automagic switching thing. So I'm gonna have to learn. So like I'm following the set background light and color scheme solarized. So I'm very confused as to why the background is still dark, unless there's something else that needs to be changed. Like I'm saying color scheme solarized. Do I need to say if you use terminal emulator supports blah blah. Oh no, I'm not using a GUI, so yeah, not so if you're using it in terminal mode, yeah. Do I have term? No, I don't. So I'm also tempted to do that. You don't want to use the custom solarized terminal colors. I recommend just changing your terminal colors to solarized values either manually or via the one. Okay. So I'm very confused about the background stuff. Toggle background. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. All right, now I'm on the fence on whether or not trying to make the current one work or not. I also want to look at alacrity color. Because, oh, right. Alacrity color scheme does do something with Vim. Yes. Or not. Like, Yep. Like, the dash V, I believe, means that it's going to change Vim. You can use the dash V argument to automatically generate the Vim background file. Okay. You'll need to source this file. Yeah. And I was using that and it wasn't working. And I think that's why I wrote my own little, Vim RC background file. Change it. You simply need to. Yep. Oh yeah, it's saying it will automatically be sourced, but that wasn't the case. I was having a lot of issues with this. So I think this bug appearing is shedding some light on that. I didn't quite understand how this whole thing was working in the first place. So it's good to now know that I had a fairly fragile setup in the first place. Now the question is how to fix that. Yeah, I want something like that. So does this tool? Yeah, see, yeah, this is the thing that I didn't want to fork. I am not using that. Oh, I guess maybe this only worked if I was using the base 16 Vim plugin, which I don't know what that is for. I guess it's the color scheme thing. I wonder if this is related to that term. Before, okay, I think I need this. And I don't remember seeing this here before. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened. So what I'm going to do, let's look at the diff. So I'm going to keep my hacky thing that I have. I'm going to reset this so to be back to the beginning. Yeah. Now I'm going to change this. So I do have I'm going to put it here. Now that background color is interesting, but that's fine. So let's do night. Okay, this is interesting. The comments are impossible to read. I don't think this is that solarized? Okay, this is much easier to read. Term colors. Okay, there's these other options which I might need to play with. For test purposes only, forces Solarized to use the 256 degraded color mode. Okay. Stopping. Yep. Okay. I still don't know why this stopped working. And I'm also curious as to how I didn't notice this set color thing here, because it was like important note for terminal users. We'll need to be told to downgrade its color scheme to set a compatible limited. Whereas by using the terminal 16 ANSI color values, you can set the correct specified values for solar. If you do use the custom terminal colors, Solarized Vim should work out of the box for you. If you're using a terminal emulator that supports 256 colors and don't want to use the custom Solarized terminal, you'll need to use the degraded color scheme. To do so, simply add the following line. So now I'm using a degraded color scheme, I believe. Okay. Well, this isn't pretty. This isn't the same Like before I was getting the exact same background color. I'm not sure why this is no longer the same background color. But it does fix the bug somewhat. But oh man, the comments are impossible to read. And this is saying solarized. But no, the background color is wrong. The background, set background. Yeah, it's not using the correct background color here. That's why it's so hard to read. It should be that like blue. So and I see, I think it's, no, it's not just taking the terminal background. Solarized term transparency. This is definitely bizarre. I'm tempted to stop the recording just because I could use a break. And I might do a little bit of research on my own for a little bit, or I'm also tempted to get the final, like, get it coupled to the keyboard shortcuts in Windows. But nevertheless, I could use a break, so I'm going to stop the recording now. And if I continue on, I'll do another recording. Anyways, cheers.